There's a power within you. It lifts your life to its highest level. It brings success, companionship, happiness, health, and peace of mind. As you tap into this power, it will respond to you because this power is within you. And that's why spirituality rocks. Welcome. I'm your host, Janine Burns, and I teach practical spirituality. I've studied with Emerson Theological Institute, and my roots are with the New Thought denomination. And New Thought teaches that there's only one presence and power in the universe, and that all creation comes from this one power. We teach that we each are a creation of God, made of God's substance. And just as God has creative power, so do we. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Not just your casual, everyday thoughts, but the thoughts that are impressed upon the subconscious mind. And they form a pattern through which the law of mind, which you may have heard, the law of attraction, the law of mind, which is the action of God, how God works, brings these thoughts into manifestation, into the physical universe. And so, since we're one with God, we have this awesome intrinsic power to create. And that's the big message of Spirituality Rocks. I'm really excited about today's show because I have a couple of fantastic guests for you. We have joining us on phone is Lindsay Kane. Lindsay is, she's a licensed practitioner with the affiliated New Thought Network. She's a sports performance hypno coach. And we have via Skype, Wah. Wah is amazing. Her book, I'd like to show the book, it's called Healing a Vibrational Exchange. Fantastic book. We're going to talk more about this. But I want to begin by introducing my co-host. With me is Tommy Marr, the Maverick Soul is with us. So Tommy, what have you been up to?
I had a great night Tuesday night. I actually had the honor of going into the city, and we did a benefit for Walter Trout, who just had a liver transplant, which, if you know, in the blues world, he's probably not many better. And it was amazing. I mean, it was like going to an all-star game for baseball.
Fantastic.
The incredible musicians that came and supported and got up and played was amazing. And I got to interview each and every one of them backstage, one-on-one. And they did a documentary with Walter, a 45-minute documentary movie before they started playing. And I got to tell you, it was like, I mean, I've seen everybody. And it was one of my greatest nights I've ever had in music. It was amazing. It was amazing.
So it sounds like the universe is expressing through you in fantastic ways.
Well, I don't know if it was through me, but whatever conduits
took us
there,
you.
It got to Walter, which is, he's had the liver transplant last week, and I heard Tuesday when we went in, that he actually was up and walking. And
right.
I mean, here's a guy that was really going.
Well, of course it was through you. You were divinely guided to be there. You had the interviews, right?
I was pleased to be there.
All righty then. So, on the phone we have the delightful Lindsay Kane. Lindsay Kane is a practitioner with the affiliated New Thought Network, and she is a sports performance hypno coach. And I'm very thrilled, because I know her personally, and she's just one of the most brilliant women I know, to welcome to Spirituality Rocks, Lindsay Kane. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Janine. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Great to have you. Great to have you. So, I always like to know, what spiritual truth or idea have you been focusing upon lately?
I've been focusing on feeling the feeling of already having, doing, or being whatever it is that I'm trying to manifest.
Okay, so you're focused on the feeling of feeling what it would be like if you were having or doing or being what you want to manifest, correct?
Yes, actually, feeling as if I already have it, I'm already doing it, I've already become it. And coming from the place of, now that I'm doing what I'm divinely guided to do, now that I'm having what I've been praying to manifest, or now that I'm whatever it may be, what's new and different in my life, how do I feel? And going from the point of jumping off, as Neville would say, being in it and going forward from there rather than going to it from a place of being in the present moment, going more into a future-paced consciousness of feeling mode.
So then it sounds to me then you're like probably also doing visualization.
Oh, yeah, but it's feelization.
Feelization. Okay, yeah. Neville does talk a lot about that. And matter of fact, So do the Hicks with their information on, they talk all about energy, but they don't use the same words that you're using now or that Neville used. But I like that. You called it, what'd you just call it again? Feelization?
Feelization.
Feelization. That's fantastic. So how do you teach people to that who don't think that they're good at visualizing? What would you say to them?
Well, I usually use a very simple visualization technique. I ask them to usually close their eyes and picture themselves in their kitchen, which most everyone can do because we spend a lot of time in our kitchen. And then I ask them to visualize a nice, beautiful, fresh lemon, and I ask them to then visualize cutting that lemon in half. And by that time, they're already starting to salivate. And if they're not, then I ask them to squeeze the lemon into their mouth. And
Ooh.
you can feel what that feels like from a visualization. That's the feelization. It's the same thing with having a wonderful ice cream cone on a hot summer day. We can visualize or feel the sun on our face because we've had that experience. So it's the same thing with having something that you'd like to have or being somebody you'd like to be. There's a way to feel that feeling, because most of the time, that feeling all of the time is we really want that thing or we want to do something because we believe in the being it, having it, or doing it, we'll be happier than we are in the present moment. So if we can feel that feeling of happiness and joy, that's the fuel.
Yes, I've always said that feeling is the fuel that propels thought into manifestation. Absolutely.
Right.
Now,
And I help people do that through hypnosis, which takes their critical conscious mind, sort of puts it in the background, and we work on their subconscious beliefs, because a belief is just a thought you keep thinking until it gets solidified into a belief.
okay,
So
so
we work with, that's what I do. I work with that part of their brain.
that was my next question. So how then do you bypass the conscious mind?
Oh, well, through the use of hypnosis, which basically is just a form of suggestions, because all hypnosis is basically self-hypnosis.
Okay.
Like a guided meditation. A guided meditation is really the person takes himself into meditation. The facilitator uses some words that helps them get into that space, but the person who wants to meditate or the person who wants to be hypnotized, actually it does it to themselves.
I see. Okay. And then, so how is that process then? Once the person is in a place where their conscious mind is not being, feeding them negative self-talk.
I partner with them with the suggestions that they've asked me to replace neural pathways. I just help them have a different point of view, basically, very simplifying it. Where they've had some self-sabotaging thoughts in the past, I can help them have a different point of view, because really your subconscious is a compilation of experiences, beliefs, and habits. And breaking those habits consciously is one way of doing. That's what a regular sports coach does. The football and NFL sports coaches, they do it on a conscious level, or a life coach does it consciously. With the hypnosis, we work on both parts of the brain, the conscious and the subconscious. And that's how people have faster, more permanent results.
I see. Yeah, I've been noticing more and more people in the New Thought denomination taking training in hypnosis in order to quiet down the conscious mind.
Well, it's actually what we try to do in hypnosis or meditation. Meditation is about just trying to ease all the thoughts so that you're not being bombarded with negative thoughts. So you give yourself a little bit of a break, because it's like a record playing over the same loop over and over again. This way, if you can change that, change the channel, change the radio station. Consciously, we do it with affirmations. You know all about those. We do it with prayer treatment. People use behavior modification. Hypnosis is just another one of those tools that is I think refined to a place where using a trained person to facilitate helps the client really get to the heart of the matter and change the underlying belief systems of maybe not being successful or being unable to succeed, something that they may have heard in third grade that a teacher told them or a parent said once upon a time. Because I use sports, it's about understanding that personal bests can be broken through conscious change.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And so if people want to get in touch with you, how would they do that? Do you have a phone number for them?
I do. I'm in Palm Beach Gardens. Actually, I'm right down the block from PGA National Golf Resort because this is where the golfers are, and I specialize in golf sports performance.
Okay.
But my phone number is 631-335-6837.
631-335-6867.
No, 6837.
Okay, so then repeat the whole thing again.
631-335-6837.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you being with us on Spirituality Rocks. And we know that you are divinely guided to have great success with your sports performance hypno-coaching. So thank you, Lindsay Kane, for being on Spirituality Rocks.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I am thrilled to be here, and it's an honor and pleasure to be part of your movement.
Thank you so much. Bye now.
Bye.
And so, before we go to commercial break, you've seen these fantastic little cards, Tommy, right?
They are fantastic.
They are fantastic. Thank you. These are affirmation cards. What they do is they give you the web address for the show, which is spiritualityrockstv.com, so you can watch it anytime you want. But we support you in your spiritual growth. If you send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Post Office Box 472 in Woodbury, New York, you will receive an affirmation card. And this one, the one for today is, I'm divinely guided in all I think, say, and do. All of my thoughts, plans, and ideas lead me straight to success because I am divinely inspired. Accomplishment and achievement are natural outcomes for me. I experience beneficial circumstances wherever I go and in whatever I do. My divine inheritance is unlimited prosperity, which flows to me in a river of abundance. So you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope. We're happy to send those to you at no charge. And if you'd like a CD of spiritual jingles, the opening one you hear on the show is on there. This is a $10 donation to the Guiding Light Foundation, and we're happy to ship this off to you. So stay tuned. Don't go far away. I'm really pleased to bring on the show one of the founders and leaders of today's world music movement. She's the author of Healing a Vibrational Exchange. So stay tuned for more of Spirituality Rocks. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Peacefully, joyfully, I am divinely guided. Peacefully, joyfully, I follow my inner guidance. Peacefully, joyfully, I am
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn?
Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure.
You'll be happy you did.
Peacefully, joyfully, I am divinely guided. Peacefully, joyfully.
Welcome back to Spirituality Rocks. I'm your host, Janine Burns, delighted to bring you this episode where we are featuring Wah. Wah is one of the founders and leaders of today's world music movement, and she's author of this amazing book, Healing a Vibrational Exchange. And I want to make sure you know about my co-host. This is Tommy Marr, the Maverick Soul. Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be here, Janine. It's always a pleasure.
It's great to have you. So let me tell you a little bit about Wah for the people who don't know about her, and I know that you don't know all that much about her. I went to Wah's healing concert. It was magical. It was just magical. You walked in the room, and it was just so beautiful. There were projections of images on the wall, colors. The room was full of colors and candles and beautiful music. It was fantastic. And Wah just really invited us to allow ourselves to be healed, you know, just being in the moment. After the workshop, I had to get this book, Healing a Vibrational Exchange, and I'm so glad I did. It is literally the most beautiful book visually I've ever seen. There's the most amazing pictures in it, and it's just written in such a style that it's flowing and easy to read. But
And
you know,
great quality, too.
really high quality, really high quality. But you know, I don't want to talk too much because I want to introduce to our guest, Wah. Welcome to the Spirituality Rocks.
Thank you, Janine.
It's fantastic to have you with us. And you know, Wah has CDs and she sold thousands of copies. And she's very well known in the yoga, meditation, and relaxation field. Extremely well known. And if you've taken a yoga class in the last few years, you have absolutely heard her music. And so I was so excited after meeting her of having her on the show. So what got you into world music? Let's start there. How'd you get into world music? Did you create the genre? I'm thinking you created the genre.
Yeah, we kind of did.
Yeah.
I've always done yoga. I started when I was a teenager. Yoga and meditative music and mantra, many of these things kind of all came together in the same package. But it wasn't until right around the turn of the century that yoga, late 1990s, yoga became popular. So all of a sudden I had a job, and I still have a job.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And when I was reading about your bio, I saw that you took a college course on raga, which are melodic modes used for Indian chants. So that's one of your specialties, chanting.
I went to Oberlin Conservatory in college, and I studied African music and Indian music. I sang in a Gregorian, an early Baroque choir. I learned about opera. I learned many different forms of music so that I could be qualified enough to bring on the real deal.
And I see that for years you managed Krishna Das and you played with Krishna Das.
For a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that gave you a lot of immersion in what you have come to teach.
No.
Oh.
Managing Krishna Das gave me a full immersion into the music industry business.
Oh.
My immersion into mantra and meditation was the 15 years prior to that.
That you were self-taught, that you just were on your journey. Yeah. Well, the universe is a wise universe, so I'm sure that was very helpful because you do have a few CDs available.
Yeah. Well, let's get right down to the qualities of healing, which we're talking about in the book, and the readers can, of course, buy the book. But the first prerequisite for healing is space. And most people are not comfortable with space.
What do you mean by space?
People feel that we need to have more information. We need to fill every moment with certain tidbits. We have to guide the mind in a certain way. We need to redirect our thoughts. We need, everything has to be very closely monitored. And the moment we go into silence, then all of a sudden what is in our minds and our hearts surfaces. And that can be a little bit disarming. Your co-host said that as you were interviewing the hypno coach before, that he was watching me on the Skype and that I was meditating, which indeed I was. And anyone can do that. Anyone can sit and create a space within themselves that allows what is present to come forward. And the reason that I have so many photographs of nature in that book is because nature already does it. And we actually already do it too. It's just that with the virtual world that we live in and the media-driven world that we are subjected to, that it feels like there's not as much space available, but there actually is.
And Tommy, you had a question.
I want to know how to get into that space and clear the clutter, because I do walk 5 miles every day, and it seems like, and I am into nature. I'm a tree freak, and I look at things much differently as I've aged, and I find myself it is easier to be clearer when I'm walking and looking at nature, but I would like to be able to like when I'm driving and people cutting you off and giving you the finger and this and screaming and yelling, I would like to at that time, how can I cleanse my mind and take the clutter out and get into a good place?
Yeah, well, the things that you describe are happening around you. They don't actually happen to you unless you invite them in. So the person who's cutting you off on the freeway, these are all the these are all the things that are happening around you, but actually your connection with yourself, in other words, your inner world, is constant. And the way that you maintain that, the way that you dialogue with yourself, the way that you parent yourself, the way that you care for yourself, then is what creates that inner world. And so learning from the trees, I think, is a beautiful way to begin. I often sit underneath a tree just to feel the electromagnetic energy from the tree. And you could do that as well. It's just that you haven't given yourself permission to actually allow that in to your inner sanctuary.
And another quick question: do you? And it's only a personal thing because I do like it. I want to know your feelings. So, do you use sage at all?
I think that using the senses in all ways in order to create both beauty and sacred space is helpful. So whether you would use sage or you would use lemon, for example.
I have it on now.
which you had, I saw, and, or frankincense, in the Catholic Church, they used to use frankincense. These are all ways of using the sense of smell, but there's also there's visual cues and there's auditory cues. The previous interview was talking about visualization or feelization. And, we experience the world, kinesthetically, or we experience it through sounds, or some people are visual, so these are all ways. All of it should be used. But the main idea is to first create space. And I'm speaking a little more slowly so that we can kind of settle in and find a space between you and me. And then filling that space with something that is what I call coherent, or it has sacred geometry. It has a rhythm. It has a pulse. Just like the ocean, it has a tide and it flows. Our systems also pulsate. And if you jack it up too high, then it doesn't give you a chance to just be with yourself. And I'd like all the listeners and also you to feel that in this moment that you have this space to just connect with who you are, how you feel, what's happening today, and what kind of path you're on. What is it that you want to experience? And that will come to you, but you have to create the space in order to ask for it, in order to allow it to come in. You can't go shopping until you clean out your closets.
I just have a whole new picture. Actually, I'm visualizing me in the car, and as the guy is cutting me off, I'm saying, well, it's actually not happening inside this car, which is actually pretty. I can.
A different perception there, eh?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: what would the tree do?
Well, trees, I'm amazed at, because I just watch the way they grow and how they take care of each other. How they will actually, across the street from my house, there are 2 giant oak trees, and they were coming in like this, and they actually grew together. And in the middle of the 2 trees, to support themselves, it's like this thick, where they're together. And these things are old, and that didn't happen by accident. You know what I mean? And I watched, I take this one path that I walk through. It's like 30-something miles, and I just watch the way they grow and take care of each other, like give each other light, and they grow around to make room for each other. And I try to think of that in a human sense of that's how we should be more like that and take care of one another.
Yeah, if something happens around the tree, oftentimes the wind will come, and it'll kind of blow and disperse that away. So the person that's insulted you on the highway and cut you off or whatever, you just open the window. Just allow the wind.
Let the leaf
to move
blow
that.
off, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like it.
You digging that?
I do.
What's neat about the book is it talks about 7 paths to healing. I'd just like to show the viewers, just if we could take a look at some of the pictures here. I mean, it's just, this book is exquisite. It's so visually appealing. It's just absolutely so lovely. Like the pictures by themselves, like you said, just bring you to a different place. Just fantastic. So it looks like it's time for a commercial break already, but before we do, I want to just mention that the book unfolds in such a beautiful way. It starts about healing, and you say that healing happens on a cellular level, and then you explain that. And then when you move on, you talk about the healing experience, and there's so many neat meditations in the book. The book is filled with beautiful meditations. If you don't have this book, you need to get this book. You know, you need to get it, and you're not borrowing my copy. Sorry, because this is a book I've come to really love, and I say, okay, universe, what do I need right now? Open the book, and beautiful. Look at that beautiful picture.
That's why I'm going to get that.
Transported to a place of beauty. Thank you for that, Wah. It's fantastic.
You know what would be really nice?
Yeah.
Is if you can just take, you know, either the guided visualization or some passage from the book and just call up a friend and just read it to them.
That is,
you know,
very
like
nice.
Just to be able to say, you know, just take a passage and just say, you know what? It's my intention to hold you with love. It's my intention that you can experience wholeness. You know, it's a different way. The words that are written in the book are a transmission of wholeness. You know, so it's like if you don't know what to say, pick up the book and call a friend and just read it to them over the phone. It will teach you how to speak to yourself, how to speak to others.
Well, that's a good thought.
Very nice.
So don't go far, because we have much more of Wah coming up right after this break.
Peacefully, joyfully, I am divinely guided. Peacefully, joyfully, I follow my inner guidance. Peacefully, joyfully, I am divine.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Peacefully, joyfully, I am divinely guided. Peacefully, joyfully, I follow.
Welcome back to Spirituality Rocks. I'm your host, Janine Burns, delighted to be with Tommy Marr today, the Maverick Soul, and we have with us on Skype, Wah. And Wah is up in San Francisco right now. And I want to tell you more about Wah's book, Healing a Vibrational Exchange. And the chapters in it are spectacular. Healing is the first chapter. The second one is on vibrational exchange. And she talks about thought, brainwaves, light, the electromagnetic field, your energetic body, breathing, and your 5 senses. Then we go on to relationship. And of course, there's relationship with yourself and to others, and obviously relationship to source. There's a whole section of visualizations that are so delicious. I'm going to be having classes this summer, and I will be certainly using some of these beautiful visualizations. And then there's actual whole section on meditation. So the book is just beautiful with all its pictures and stuff. And so you can check it out. The book is available at wahmusic.com, and you can also go on to Amazon and check it out. But right now, what I want you to check out is we have a brief video about Wah and her work. So let's check that out so we can see more about what Wah's been up to.
It's gone too far.
We're doing a love set for you this morning. All about all the ways that we can be in love so that everything that happens today is in love and manifest love. She has sad eyes, the girl in the video. Even though she smiles, you know she's seen more than she shows. The girl in the video. She says to her drummer, give me rim shot. She says to her lover, give me all that you got. She's a girl in the video. They send her flowers, the girl in the video. Even though she cries, you know she feels the love that they hold. She says, do I love her, do you love me? Can you dry my tears and take this sadness from me? She's a girl, girl, girl in the video. She stands in the smoky light show. Light, smoke, and mirrors is all she's ever known. She stands without reverence and takes on the audience. Everyone wants her to find love. Let yourself let yourself be wide open.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Wah. And you can check out Wah. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent.
Wah Music. That's WAHmusic.com. And you can find out more of her work. Where's your next appearance?
Let's see. I'll be at the Center for Spiritual Living in Tahoe this weekend.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Well, you know, I met you down in Atlanta, Georgia. And isn't this just, look at this picture, Tommy. Isn't that beautiful? And I was so surprised how many people came from the surrounding community that weren't a part of our program who came just to have an experience with Wah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an underground network.
They have an underground network of all people into yoga and meditation. You talk about source energy in your book. Could you tell us more about source energy?
It is the way that you connect to your soul. Soul could also be called spirit. It is the connection that you have when you're born. You come in with a connection. You remember this connection to light, to angelic frequencies, to God. This is something that is part of how you are designed. So as you come in, you are open to source energy, and that is exaggerated by the soft spot on the baby's head. So the skull is actually not even closed up yet. And this is, in the yogic philosophy, this is the 10th gate. This is the place that you leave your body or you connect into source energy. It's why you wear a hat to church or a yarmulke. And that spot is completely open. in a baby. And so, you know, if you press your fingers there when the child is very, very young, you'll feel brains. It's absolutely unnerving, you know, but it's not protected yet. And as you get older, then it seals off. But the idea is to keep that area at the top of the head permeable, and to keep your connection to source as well permeable, so that there's an ongoing exchange between you and your spirit.
Beautiful. That's
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's beautiful. Well, we need one more brief commercial break, and then we'll be back with more of Spirituality Rocks and our special guest, Wah.
Peacefully, joyfully, I am divinely guided. Peacefully, joyfully, I follow my inner guidance. Peacefully, joyfully, I am.
YesWeCare.net is a 501c3 charity that provides help to veterans and their families. Please visit YesWeCare.net and donate in any way you can by purchasing our beautiful framed prints or relaxation CDs and DVDs, even smooth jazz CDs. YesWeCare.net. Remember, our troops are on their way home. They need all the support they can get. YesWeCare.net.
Peacefully, joyfully, I am divinely guided. Peacefully, joyfully.
Welcome back to Spirituality Rocks. I'm your host, Janine Burns, in the studio with Tommy Marr, the Maverick Soul. And on Skype, coming to us from San Francisco, is Wah. That's W-A-H exclamation point. And now I understand why there's always an exclamation point after your name. It is because you emit the most beautiful energy. I really believe that those watching this show today are having an experience of your essence and presence, and we thank you so much for that. I'm going to read from your book, Visualization for Sacred Circle. Okay, you ready?
I am ever ready.
I want you to follow this. Sit comfortably with your eyes closed and take a few deep breaths. Let the breath come and go naturally. Watch the breath as it enters the body and leaves, and it mingles with the air around you. And in your mind's eye, draw an imaginary circle. Draw this imaginary circle right around your whole body, as if you were sitting in the sand. Draw a circle around you. Whatever is inside this circle is inside your space. Go ahead, claim it. Now decorate it. Add some color to it. How about some flowers, a cherry blossom, maybe some rocks or pine cones? Bringing in anything you want and place it in your circle. And don't forget the space behind you. You can decorate that too. Make it so it feels wonderful and comfortable and familiar. The perfect thing for right now. And this is your space to hang out. It's your special fort or treehouse or clubhouse or whatever. It's all yours. And you can bring people into your sacred circle if you like, or keep the sanctity of its solitude. Whatever it is, it's yours alone. The reason I just read this one is because in the book, Wa writes, your relationship to yourself is the starting point. And that Wa is something that we so focus upon at Spirituality Rocks, because there's a lot of things out there, a lot of tools, a lot of different paths. But your starting point is your connection to yourself, which is your connection to Source.
Well, and we all talk about it, but it can be hard to do. So it's like even when you're watching this show, which is a wonderful show, you're still going out. You're still like hoping that, Reverend Janine is going to tell us something that's going to connect us to self. And it's like, it is about turning off the cell phone, turning off the TV, taking that time, maybe before bed or right before you wake up, but making sure that you take that time that's just for you.
And I see in your book you say every day. Every day you need alone time.
Yes, every day.
And it's not necessarily just meditation time. What you wrote in the book, it could be meditation, or it could be, while you're cleaning out your closet or balancing your checkbook. But you talk about being absorbed in your own energy field, your own thoughts, your own pace and rhythm, so that you give yourself just the space to be.
Yeah, it can be gardening. It can be, like he said, walking in the trees. But it's just that moment. Someone told me, you're the one who has to do the work, and your friends and loved ones are the ones that can hold your hand. They hold your hand while you do that work, and it's like you're the one who does it, and we love you so much for doing it.
You know when I get that moment?
When's that, Tommy?
When I water my plants.
There you go.
I
exactly.
Without a doubt. I love it. I get completely lost in my self-thoughts, and I'll stand there for 45 minutes and then I still drink out of the hose too. It's just one of those things I do from being a kid.
That's
it's
great.
Source.
Yeah, it's Source. So you're connecting with Source at that time.
Yeah.
Isn't that fantastic?
I love it. I actually love it.
There's a big emphasis in the book on light. And I am telling you, this book, I said to Wa before we did the show, I said, there's vibrational energy attached to this book. Because when you pick it up, you can literally feel it.
And it's popping off the screen.
And it's popping off the screen. Those of you who noticed before that Wa was back far from the screen
and
then popped up to the front of the screen, which had happened again. We had nothing to do with that in the studio. We're not touching any cameras. That's just something that happened. So we're attributing that all to Wa's energy and presence. That's what Tommy and I decided it is. But you talk so much about light, and you explain it. Light is microscopic. It's measured in nanometers, and it's the same scale that's used to measure atoms, molecules, and computer switches. And to give you an idea, a water molecule is less than 1 nanometer. And a typical germ is about 1,000 nanometers, and a hair is about 100,000 nanometers. Visible light ranges from 380 to 780 nanometers, so the wavelengths are less than half the width of a single hair. That's just beyond. I mean, that takes a lot to bring your brain to that. And so light is detected by your skin, eyes, and electromagnetic field and converted into electrical impulses, which are sent to the brain. And then when you talk more about light, I've been seeing more and more and more on the internet, people just talking about light, that all you just need to do is visualize a cloud of light above you. There's even a Facebook page, Revolution by Light. Tell us more about why and how often you visualize light.
Well, it's something that you already know how to do. So if you just think of it like sunbathing, you create vitamin D through the absorption of sunlight. So it's something that everybody likes to sunbathe. This is something that you already know. So if you just take that one step further, you've got a whole organism that is receptive to light. And if you can't think of it in terms of your own human body, think of yourself as a plant. So a plant has nice soil and it gets nice water, and then it opens itself to the sunlight. The blossom, or the rose or the flower, it opens itself to the sunlight. And you're just like that. So, oftentimes, because we work ourselves too hard and we push ourselves too hard, it can be better to associate yourself with, for example, a flower or a plant, because you can see and know right away how fragile they are. That if you squash or bend or crack the stem, like, the flower will be lost. And it's like, this is how you have to treat yourself. And as that bloom, it just very slowly just opens itself to the sky to receive that sunlight. This is also the way in which you can open to the sunlight. So whatever method that you use, Janine has described one of just allowing the sunlight or golden light to come down in and through the spine. That's fine. All of them are great. And it's more really the attitude with which you receive it.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh. Please get this book, Healing, A Vibrational Exchange. Go to wahmusic.com. That's WAHmusic.com. Wah, thank you so much. Your energy, your presence is just delicious. I'm so grateful that you've joined us today on Spirituality Rocks.
Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Tommy.
And
it was
Tommy,
a pleasure. It really was.
It's just always great to have you on the sofa again.
I feel it.
I know. I feel it too. And I think the viewers are going to feel it too. Again, Healing, A Vibrational Exchange. Check it out. You're just going to love the book. Please tell your friends about SpiritualityRocksTV.com. We'll see you next week live at 6 p.m. on Thursday evening, Eastern Standard Time, with Francine Huss. We have a great showing of shows coming up. So check out more and more of Spirituality Rocks TV. We bless you, we praise you, and we appreciate you.